The Delhi High Court has granted bail to Pinjra Tod activists who have been jailed now for a while. Divangana Kalita and the activist Natasha Narwal and the Jamia student Asif Iqbal Tanha were arrested under the stringent Unlawful Activities Prevention Act in connection with violence in northeast Delhi. Now, there's a difference between the, quote, constitutionally guaranteed right to protest and terrorist activity, is what the High Court said, as they granted bail to the three activists who've been arrested more than a year ago in connection with the riots that followed protests against the controversial Citizenship Amendment law. The High Court has also said that the use of the anti-terror law, the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, or UAPA, which was invoked to file charges against the activists, must recognize the essential character of terrorism and a terrorist act, and that the law could not be casually applied to criminal acts. Well, joining us now, PKD Nambiar, someone who is a political analyst, supports the BJP. I will also be joined by Aishi Ghosh, the president of the JNU Students' Union and the senior advocate for the Supreme Court, Colin Gonzalez. Mr. Nambiar, the statements made by by the High Court, very, very strong. They've said that the line between the constitutionally guaranteed right to protest and terrorist activity seems to be getting somewhat blurred. Isn't this a huge indictment on investigators and the government, right, which put these people behind bars for so long?
It's true, actually, Vishnu, because if you really look at from the point of view of the kind of harsh words the Delhi High Court, Honorable Court has used, maybe definitely a setback for those investigators, and it is also a setback for the large number of people who died in the Delhi riots. More than 50 people have died in the Delhi riots. And I believe that there is an anti-India sentiments which are created by some of these so-called activists, more of like the activists on the social media activists, and a section of people, a little bit, I would even would like to call anti-Hindu activists. I think this kind of course, we all have to respect the verdict of the Honorable Court, but I believe that the decision of the court may not be in the right direction. The reason being, I think this will fuel another set of this anti-India sentiments. For some people, it is more of like a business.
Mr. Nambiar, what do you mean by anti-India sentiment if they protested the Citizenship Amendment Act? What's anti-India about that?
This is precisely, if you really, I mean, if you happen to see all those comments during the riot, we are talking about some people and their comments were instrumental in fueling the riot in Delhi, Vishnu.
What about the massacre of people in northeast Delhi? One of the most shocking incidents of violence in the National Capital Region.
More than 50 people.
And you know, I mean, people have died and you're talking about anti-India sentiments.
No, I've gone little further. I said anti-India and anti-Hindu kind of comments by some of these kind of section of the people. I'm not saying only just
but the High Court is speaking about line between the constitutionally guaranteed right to protest and terrorist activity seems to be getting somewhat blurred. This basically means that dead people protest. Don't slap charges against them and call them terrorists and put them away.
I believe, Vishnu, that there is, in a democracy like India, the right to protest is available for all of us, and we should all be given the right to exercise that. But then, let me complete my statement. Yeah. But in the same moment, if you really look at that from the last couple of years, there is a fashion that talking anything against the country, against the Hindu, the sentiments have become like a fashion.
But who's talking against Hindus or the countries, sir? They're disagreeing with policies. The Citizenship Amendment Act.
There are, I think you have not seen that particular...
No, I have seen a lot of horrific stuff bandied about in the name of religion on both sides. But that's not what this is about, sir. Right? The phrase must partake of the essential character of terrorism, and the phrase terrorist act cannot be permitted to be casually applied to criminal acts or omissions that fall squarely within the definition of conventional offences as defined inter alia. A person who objects to the government, who says that CAA is needs to go is not anti-India. They aren't terrorists, sir, they're protesters.
I am precisely saying the same thing. I am only saying that the protest is the fundamental right of you and me and every individual of this country. But that when the protest and the comments which has been given, the shape which has been given is becoming an anti-India element in that. If you really look at all those Twitter handles during that particular time and the kind of messaging which is there in the public domain clearly says that is the reason they have been behind the bars for the last 1 year. Definitely, it is definitely, as I said initially, it is a setback for these people. Some of these people will now come out more and more powerfully as in the name of a freedom of speech. It becomes more of like officially given granted that they can speak anything and everything against the
if there is no
establishment.
violence, sir, then if there is no violence or any call to violence or any statement which provokes violence, then why can't people say what they want? Mr. Nambiar, just a very quick question, sir. Are we still a democracy?
I think that is the reason you are asking me a question and I am giving you an answer. If it is not a democracy, is that this kind of a discussion would be happening?
Mr. Nambiar, if this is a democracy, then why put people behind bars?
So that is the
if
reason
they
we
dissent?
have a code. No, we have a code.
In the last few years, people have been saying things like this. People have been saying things like that. If they disagree, then what's wrong with it, sir? I disagree with something, you disagree with something. Let people say what they want to. But to label people terrorists, to slap UAPA against them, to have them in jail for 1 year, and then in 1 year later of wasted lives, to have a High Court say that what the investigators was doing was essentially rubbish. Isn't that an embarrassment?
So I said that it is a setback, but it is a setback not just from the point of for the investigators, even maybe to an extent to the government. But what I was telling is about the larger question. It has become like a fashion that going and talking anything and everything about this particular country without even having
so those people are terrorists
is
then,
becoming a fashion. This is
so
what
I also think it's horrible when people say things against my country. I'm as part of this country as you are. But if I disagree with someone, I put them in a jail and call them a terrorist.
That is precisely the reason I think.
And you are justifying that, sir.
You have. No, I'm not I'm not justifying one particular act. There is a fashion. There is a Tukde gang. Okay. There are people who just only been able to. They will not be able to say anything good about this particular country. That is where the challenge is, Vishnu.
Right, and therefore they are terrorists. Mr. Colin Gonzalez.
I don't call them any of these people as a terrorist. I don't think anybody who.
All right, Mr. Nambiar, let me bring in Mr. Gonzalez as well. Aisha also with us. Mr. Gonzalez, do you think that this is a win now? Because we've seen some time back the Supreme Court also making the point that that sedition needs to be carefully redefined so that we don't get into trouble on how it is defined. And now you've got the High Court saying that the line between the constitutionally guaranteed right to protest and terrorist activity seems to be getting somewhat blurred. Is this not a victory for our right to say what we want and protest when we want?
It's a huge victory. I read the judgment of the High Court. It's such a wonderfully written judgment. And I heard my friend who spoke before me saying people are saying anything or everything. Not everything, because the judgment says there were no words used to incite violence.
Correct, yeah.
So they were not saying anything and everything. And the other thing is that these people were only protesting against the CAA NRC. And the next obvious, reference is there's no act of terrorism alleged against them at all. So they've gone on television, national television, saying Pinjra Tor is a terrorist organization. And the finding of the High Court is no act of terrorism attributed to Natasha. 1 year in jail, no act of terrorism, and no incitement to violence. So
in
this
fact,
is bullying.
I wanted to, Mr. Gonzalez, go through a few of the statements, and then bring Aishi in as well. Right? And the first of them, foisting grave penal provisions of UAPA frivolously upon people would undermine intent of the law meant to address threats to the nation. Should this court wait till the appellant's right to a speedy trial is completely negated before it steps in? Pre-trial detention would lead to needless psychological and physical deprivations. The right to protest peacefully not outlawed, and not a terrorist act. In its anxiety to suppress dissent in the minds of people, the line between the right to protest and terrorist activity seems to be getting blurred. If this mindset gains traction, it would be a sad day for our democracy. Aishi, would you like to reflect on this? I think this is the strongest statement. If this mindset gets traction, it would be a sad day for our democracy. This is the heart of what we are is our democracy.
What I would like to say here, it's a big victory, I feel, for the people who have been continuously trying to actually make this difference, that protesting merely on the roads, on the streets, protesting, voicing opinion about the policies that the government is taking in a country can't be anti-national, can't be deemed as terrorist. And that is exactly what the High Court says, that somewhere we're getting blurring both the lines of terrorism and protest happening legally in a country. And that is very insightful for everyone who is talking. One of the colleagues who was speaking before, who is a political analyst, I was hearing, it's very surprising that he is still not accepting the fact that there were no evidences. The court has been continuously asking for evidences. There has been hearings happening. And if there were evidences, the evidences have not. It's been more than 1 year that the students have been incarcerated in the jail. They have been put in jail under charges, and there is no proof that the police can come out. There is no proof that the people who have put allegations can come out. And you are just saying that the students should be in jail just because you assume that something has gone wrong. You can't put people behind the bar just because somebody doesn't like somebody's opinion. And this is just not welcome in a democracy. Obviously, we believe that this is still a democracy. That's why we have faith in the courts. That's why we still have faith in our institutions. And that is why we are saying if we have to save this democracy, we have to accept the opinion that the people are having, even if it's the opinion of 1% of the population of this country. And what they were trying to say is a different opinion that the government is trying to say. And that is something we are continuously trying to tell this government also, that it's not only Natasha, Devangana, Asif, but there are several people who have been put under this UAPA, and we just told that just because you are anti the government policies, you are anti-national. And this new fashion, because he was just mentioning that protesters has becoming a fashion, I want to mention this thing. Putting UAPA also has become a fashion for this government, that the government thinks that putting UAPA on everyone will shut down the dissenting voices in this country.
One sec, Aishi, just running short on time. I want to go to Mr. Gonzalez again. So with this judgment, those who choose to protest for whatever the reason is that they choose to protest in this country, are they on stronger legal ground? Is there now a legal basis for them to believe that nobody is going to call them a terrorist, pick them up, slap you up and put them behind bars?
Well, not to that extent, but I would say this is a huge step forward. Because for so long, so many people, so many journalists, apart from social activists and right to information activists and so on, so many people have been bullied by the government by threatening them with UAPA. This judgment is so beautifully written and so clearly written. I think it will be used by activists throughout the country and by journalists throughout the country.
Right.
Mere words are not terrorism.
Right.
Words combined with action, and that too action of a severe kind,
yes,
trying to overthrow the state, that is terrorism. And this judgment will go a long, long way, I believe, I'm certain, a long, long way to protecting people who are fighting for freedom of speech and expression in this country. It's a happy day for all of us.
Mr. Nambiar, last 30 seconds to you. Yes, go ahead.
I agree with Mr. Gonsalves completely. The only difference which I wanted to tell you is that there is, because I was a student activist when I was a student, one thing, there is a huge change which has taken place. This is maybe because of the timing which we are living in, the social media bubble which we may be living in. One thing is that there is a large number of today's activists. They are not the ground level activists. They are predominantly a social media activist which has got a hit and run. They just hit. They don't even know how many people, because of that hit, just get affected. It is very easy for somebody to come and give anti-CAA, putting a social media
but Mr.
post,
Nambiar,
and if it is instigating violence,
they might be very poor activists.
I don't think so. This has
No, but Mr. Nambiar, they may be terrible activists. They may be hit and run activists. But you don't lock them up, no?
I think so.
No, I think that's precisely. No, I think you have not heard Mr. Gonsalves very clearly. What Mr. Gonsalves said is the real thing. The problem today is that putting everybody, turning everybody.
All right, look,
terrorist
we are
is
running
not
short on time. I need to
Not
wrap
at all
this up over here.